Welcome to the third episode of the Lunch Table Podcast. Today I am joined, as always, by my lovely co-host,
Travis Patrick.
We have a great episode for you in store today, but before we get into it, we're going to have Travis shout out our social media platforms.
So for you that know that we have the Instagram, and it is the Lunch Table _podcast 24. Keep following, shouting out, keep up updates on it. We'll be posting frequently on it, and stay tuned. We also have a YouTube channel that we have not posted on yet, but we have it up. It's the same name, the Lunch Table _podcast 24. We will eventually be posting video content on it as well as we shoot our podcast, but we are waiting to get the video footage stuff in the making.
Awesome. Before we get into any more, we want to thank you all for your support. You know, we're getting so many messages and
yes, lots of support from fans. We've had a couple of teachers message about wanting to be on it, and we will wait to name them because it'll be a surprise like every week.
Yep. So, ready?
Yeah, with that being said, let's get rolling.
All right. Our guest today is a good friend of ours. We went through school with him, played a lot of sports with him. Ladies and gentlemen, Carter Kimbrough. Yeah!
Howdy.
How you doing, bud?
Oh, living the dream.
Are you?
How's it been? I feel like it's been a while.
Yeah, basically just been working.
That's
hanging
good.
Out, living life.
The dream.
Driving a lot.
Driving a lot, yeah.
Driving a lot. About 2 hours every weekend. No big deal.
Oh, yeah.
It's love, baby.
Let's get
That's
it.
what it'll do to you. All right, Carter. So, before we get into anything, what do you remember from school?
What do I remember?
I
don't remember a lot. No.
What's a good story you can start us out with? Just kick it off.
I remember whenever I first met Travis. It was kind of my introduction to Aaron and Travis together. I already knew their brother Blake, but whenever we all got together, it was in the bathroom of our school in the elementary, and their parents were just getting together the first time, and we were talking about playing GTA San Andreas or something, and then they started talking about their parents getting together. They're like, "We're gonna be brothers, yeah!" That's pretty much the start of it all. I mean,
that's all they really talked about at that point of their lives too, like
video games and being brothers.
Being brothers.
That was a that was a good highlight.
Their whole personality.
Yeah, me and Carter talked about it before. We don't really remember like
No,
how
it was just kind of got into life together.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I dated Pierce's cousin. Not to name drop or anything, but Reagan Nicole Moody. She lives at. No, I'm just playing.
She still loves you.
I still love you. No, but that was kind of, I guess, really the first interaction of me and Pierce together. I mean,
we played a lot of sports.
A lot of sports together.
Your dad was coaching everyone and their cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We go way back. We all do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
A little bit.
I feel like that's gonna be a main point with all of our guests that we're gonna have. Everyone's gonna go back. I mean, we all went to school together for the longest time.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what? I was a grade under you guys, so what?
Yeah.
K through 12.
Yeah.
Same building. 12 years, 13 years, I guess.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you ready for our first segment?
Let's jump into it.
All right, guys. You all know what it is. It's 5 real questions and 5 real answers with 3 real people. So, Travis, go ahead and ask him the first question.
Alrighty. So, Carter, we just want to kick this off, starting off the segment. What was your favorite memory from school?
I got... So, our sophomore year, we had a class. I won't name the teacher, obviously, but we had a geometry class, and I swear that was probably the most like out of control class. I remember, I don't know if I want to give out too much, but I don't know how much they want to talk about it. But Kyle and Blake, they had a competition to see who could get the most ISS, and I think a good percentage or a majority of the time it was out of that class.
She didn't really give ISS, though. She would threaten it and then take it back for it,
No,
didn't
she would. I think the only person she really sent was Kyle, but it was and yeah, Blake got sent a lot, but I don't think Kyle ever went. Kyle just kind of hung around the hallway.
Kyle's always special for some reason. He's always special to everyone. He always got his ways with everything somehow.
Kyle had a special place.
He's
place
still
in a lot
that
of
way.
people's heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
just
still
finds
is
his
like
niche.
that.
Be ready for that podcast because
That one's gonna be great.
It's gonna be hard.
Gonna come out of that one.
So like, how was that class in general? Like,
Oh,
why was
it
that
was-
a good memory? With
It was
this
it was it was a lot.
It
there
was
a lot of
fun.
good memories. It was out of control all the time. And then at what was it, like the half semester point, we got a airdrop of new people in the class. I think. Well, Mr. Bailey got dropped into that class. I don't know how, but
when we thought this class couldn't get worse, it
yeah,
indeed got worse.
It got 10 times worse. I'm pretty
And
sure.
Joy, Miss Joy, she was great to have in there.
Miss Joyce, yeah, she would always hang out. She was chill.
Miss Joy was always lovely to talk to.
I'll probably say one of my like top moments from that class was taking the final for the last the last semester of the year, and I did not write down a single thing, and I don't think any one of us did, and we all passed. But I didn't try in that class. I passed with an A. So.
I don't think I would have passed that class if I didn't have that teacher. If I
No.
None of us
And shout out
would've.
Brittany. She did a lot of my homework. Blake did a lot of my homework.
Shout
I
out.
didn't really have to do much, but it was a good time. It was a good time.
I have so many videos.
Oh yeah, there's a whole vault. I could make a movie with it. There's hours and hours upon.
We'll call it Geometry. That'd be a great
Yeah.
movie.
I'd pay someone to make a movie.
We'll have to do another podcast sometimes with put the whole class in there,
geometry
the geometry class.
we should get a teacher on there.
Oh no.
No, maybe not. She would flip.
She would not enjoy it.
Yeah, that was a fun class. Like
It was definitely a memorable one.
100.
I'd probably say that's probably one of like top times in high school. That was whenever I was having the most fun.
Kyle and Hunter's slideshow they had to make.
Yeah, I was gonna refer to that, but that's a touchy topic
It
at
is.
the time.
Yeah, we'll save that for the geometry episode.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that was a really fun class. Carter, what's your favorite moment with us or either of us?
Oh, there's a lot of good times. I'd probably say if I had to pick a time with both of you, it'd probably be that JV Van Horn game. I didn't play at all.
Oh man,
Oh,
But
I remember that
game was hyped the entire time. There was, I think, damn near fist fights.
oh
But,
yeah.
Then after the game, we just clowned this kid the entire time.
He was a bum. He sat bench varsity and oh my
I don't
gosh.
think were we any of you guys on varsity
No, I
at
was
that
not.
point?
No.
We all just like clowned this kid for no reason. But
Yeah, we have pictures of him next to trash cans on our phone.
yeah, it was.
That's when Coach Lake called me Frodo Baggins. I had the long
Frodo
curly hair.
Oh my gosh.
Good
You
for
were also
Ken.
100 pounds heavier too.
That was a time of our lives.
I say sophomore year, junior year for you guys was probably it was
It was
up there.
peak.
Why
It
Yeah.
was up there.
Why was that game so memorable for you? Like, why was that your favorite?
There's a
memory?
lot of memories. I mean, I can't really.
I'll say that whole
It's
season.
hard on the spot.
That
Oh, yeah, it's
season
hard on
was
the spot.
nice.
But I don't know. There's a lot of good memories with both of you. I mean, it's just hard to pick out because there's a lot of touchy topics, and then there's a lot of
Things we can't
good
talk
times.
about.
I mean, well, let's go back. I mean, hanging out at Travis's house almost every single weekend.
The birthday parties were unmatched.
Oh my gosh.
That was amazing. We always had so much fun. We stayed up late, and then we'd start messing with each other, and it was just someone would get mad, and we all thought it was funny.
Blake would caught the brunt of the making fun of, but I also caught the brunt of getting the absolute crap beat out of me. So
Which is crazy because Blake gets back at all of us.
Yeah.
Or
all the
you
time.
guys for it.
Blake's
I was never a
ruthless.
butthead to Blake. I love Blake.
I remember it was a brats and burgers type of night. I dipped the brat in the sour cream and onion
That's
chip
disgusting.
dip, and I threw it at Blake, and he got up out of his bed, chased me into the bathroom. Mind you, I locked the bathroom. He broke open the door and put me in a chokehold, half asleep. The most power I felt out of anyone in my life.
You changed his life forever.
I remember finding one of those.
I was
hot
the one who
dogs.
changed him for the better.
Wait, you found one of them?
Yeah, I found one under my bed because
What?
someone threw one at me, and it was like 3 months down the road. It was all moldy and nasty, but
Oh.
yeah, it was a nasty smell for sure.
I remember
awful.
Blake chasing us around with a paintball gun that didn't work, but we all thought it worked, so we were all scared. He curb stomped someone in the head. Yeah, that was.
Oh my gosh.
That was a fun time. It's just there's I could go back. It's a vault of just random stuff that happened that I couldn't even begin to scratch on. But
That's awesome.
I'd probably say that's probably a couple of my favorite memories.
And it was always. I will say it was always a thrill at those birthday parties. We'd go play hide and go seek. Hide and go seek at night.
You wake up the next day.
No, it was the where you turned around and then everyone like would.
Yeah,
and if you saw them, you called them out.
Yeah, yep. I know what you're talking about.
Oh,
your uncle's telling the best stories.
I'm gonna unlock a little memory for you. Remember trampoline times?
Yeah.
Sitting on the trampoline, we were watching the movies.
Yeah, that was. That was a good time.
Yeah. you can't even say anything.
Or do you remember that time the fireman was around the fire at the birthday party?
He's like face to face with the fire, and he's like, "I am the fire god."
Yeah, I believe he got like 3-degree burn because he sat by the fire for like 2 hours.
I'm pretty sure like the next time we had a party there, like he was walking out into the field, like just walking off for no reason.
Dude, and then what peaked the birthday parties? I don't know why. For me, I loved going there, going straight to the hay bales.
The hay bales, yes.
Run and then get stuck in between them.
I will say my dad was never too fond of us running those hay bales because it tear him up. But,
Sorry, Adam. Shout out.
It was a time of our lives. I'd do anything to go back for one more game of hide and go seek for sure.
I remember there was one
Let's
time
do it right now.
we were all over there, and they had just moved out of their old house, and their old house was like, I'd say probably like 50 or 100 feet away from their new house that they built, and we tore the crap out of the old house. And
yeah, we turned that thing into a trap house.
The parents were not happy at all, and I'm sorry. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything.
Katie and Adam.
I didn't
Love
do
you
anything.
guys.
It wasn't me.
We were doing some remodeling to the house.
It was definitely me.
The basketball games in the garage.
Oh, yes.
Those got intense.
I didn't even think about it. Dude, that would go like
those went crazy.
We never even like got too competitive, but it was just like it was
Hunter
crazy.
would get pretty competitive. We played King of the Court or
we
whatever.
We wouldn't like fight or anything though.
Well, no, but Hunter would get fit. Like Hunter was always physical because we dunk on it.
Yeah.
The only time my fat
and we
can do that.
have those little plate weights on the back of the goal, and it would always tip every time someone would go for a dunk.
Hang on the rim.
Oh my gosh!
I remember always getting blisters all over my fingers just trying to dunk on. Well, it was like 6 foot at the time. It was
higher than that.
Nah, it was 6 foot.
Maybe
it,
6.
It was all the way down.
This is like back in middle school,
Yeah,
so it was like dunk ball more or less.
Short.
We did dunk contests.
Oh, another thing from the old house, the Pine Sol.
Baseball
in
game.
the living room.
What?
It would be like 3 a.m. We're all like dunk around the house, like just slipping, falling.
So for those who don't know, in my old house, it was all hardwood floors. So we'd take a pine spray and we'd slick up the floors and we'd put on fresh socks and we'd play hand baseball with the sock wadded up, and we'd just be sliding all over the house. And,
it would be literally, I kid you not, 3 a.m.
It's basically like the World Series.
Yeah, we'd be running around the living room, and like Katie and Adam slept like 10 feet away from the living room, so it was like they heard every single bit of that.
Not once though have I heard them complain at the birthday parties.
No, they never
too
did.
late.
I will say though, the next morning, whenever they come out of the bedroom and they'd slip and bust their butts on the ground, they weren't too fond about that part, and having to buy new pine spray like after every birthday party. We'd slick up that whole floor. It was a good time.
There would be like 3 pounds of pine sol on that floor.
Oh, good memories for sure. So, Carter, let's move on to the next question. What has shaped you into the person you are now?
Okay. I feel like I'm gonna get a little deep with this one, but probably my grandpa. I say probably my grandpa.
Yeah. What about good old Leonard?
Oh, he was a great man. I can't
yeah.
There's not enough time on here to spend talking about him. I mean,
we could talk about him for days.
But he was always a great man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from the way he treated everybody like his own kid to the way he followed his faith. I think that's really what makes me follow more and more every day is him. Like, I mean, that's really why I chose to follow God more closely than I have in the past. I mean,
yeah.
They were great people. Your grandma too.
Oh, my grandma.
They were the best.
I couldn't even begin talking to her. She was a hell of a woman. But
I will say Leonard, I think he really impacted a lot of people, like especially you, Carter, and your friends around you. I mean, he was there at every ball game. He was always supportive. He'd sit down and talk to you for hours if you needed help.
Yeah.
Like, I remember our senior year with our scholarship class. Pierce filled out a scholarship, and he helped out Pierce, and Pierce won it, and it was a really touching story.
I mean, all that stuff's anonymous, but like, I mean, just he would read them, and like, he would. I mean, like it was his choice who picked it.
That's
so.
a good cause.
That's what meant so much about it too. Is like
you knew
out
who
of
he was
everybody
coming
they
from.
picked me. That it was great.
Yeah, and I mean, there's so much to talk about. I mean, like, even I remember junior year, I got my hair like bleach blonde, like yellow highlighter, and he could barely see at the game. So like, that's really, I mean, he would tell me after the games, he'd be like, the only way I could tell you how it was you was the bleach blonde hair. And I'm like, that always made me happy. But
I kind of digged it. I thought it looked kind of dope. I'm not gonna lie to you.
We'll call it the Slim Shady version of
there
Carter.
was
Carter.
two versions of that.
If you
but
don't know Carter, though, he has red hair. So going
Fire
from
red.
red to bleach blonde was a big step in his life.
It was. I did it whenever we were in Florida. I think Florida, and literally like just came back bleach blonde hair. Like it was. I'm pretty sure I did like maybe 6 boxes of box dye, and that was like it fried my hair. Like my hair was like straw. It was terrible.
Jeez, dude.
I know how those box dyes go. I tried to do that in like I think it was like 5th grade. I had some peach fuzz on my lip. I was like, oh, I'm gonna make this look dark. And I decided to put it on my peach fuzz. I had like 4 hairs on my lip anyways, so it was a dumb idea. Broke out in a rash.
Oh,
and made my lip just look huge, and it was all red and itch. It burned so bad.
Still can't grow facial hair to this day.
You know, I'm trying to work on the mustache. I mean, I got a little beard going on every once in a while. I get like 4 hairs. You know,
It's a big step in the right direction.
we'll call it 4 hairs. It's more. That's more.
It's just one long one.
I was thinking about trying that exfoliant stuff, the derm roller or something.
Like the little spikes?
Yeah, that you roll on your face and then you throw oil on it.
You've done that before.
Well, I mean, actually,
You've done that before. Don't act like you haven't.
we were gonna talk about that. I was thinking about getting back into it, giving it a second shot. You know,
Aaron
everyone
did it.
deserves 2 chances. In
Aaron
life.
did it, and it worked out well for him.
Well, that's what
His beard does look really good, though, right now.
that's what he claims. You know, maybe it's genetics. Who knows?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, his dad
Look at
got it.
Blake.
If you don't remember
Sorry,
Aaron's dad,
sorry.
he's always had that big bushy beard.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like he had to get it from his dad.
I've got a trailer park beard. I can't. My face doesn't connect. It has like this one spot. I'll have my same exact my dad. But going back to Grandpa, I mean, like, just absolute. I mean, there's a lot of things that shaped me into the man I am today. My friends, family, but I'd say ultimately it's probably
What
him.
would you say the biggest impact your grandpa had on you was?
I'd say he taught me how to do the majority of the stuff that I know how to do. So, I mean, obviously my dad taught me a lot, but like as far as like, you know, morals and stuff like that goes, I think he always said, you know, if you're going to do something, do it the first time right. So that you don't have to go back and do it again. I mean, that was even as small as closing a door right. Like he would make you go back and close it and open it 10 times right before if you slam the door. Like that's just small things that, like, you know, even though he had such high morals for himself, like it was on every single level of his life. Right. Like it didn't matter whether it was a job, closing a door, or, you know, how he carried himself the next day. Like he always wanted to do it right the first time, so he didn't have to go back and do it again.
Yeah, I feel like that's how your family is in general, not just your grandpa speaking, but like even your parents in general. Like I remember my senior year over COVID or whatever, I was at your house like every day, and we were always hanging out together, having a good time, and they're just so welcoming and loving, and I feel like they brought me in as like another son of theirs, is what it felt like, because I just show up to your house and open up the fridge or something, and not even mind if I was eating 4 bags of chips.
yourself at home.
And that's a great part about like my family. I mean, like my parents love that. Like my parents love having my friends over, and like Blake will come over like every other week or something like that, but it never changes. Like Travis could not come over for a year and then come back, and they wouldn't feel any different. Like Pierce probably hasn't been over my house a handful of times, but if
been to your house, I'm not gonna lie.
If he walks to the front door, I swear my parents will not bat an eye. Like it's just that's how my parents are. They love the foot traffic. They love seeing you guys' faces. Like it's just. They love seeing it. So,
same goes along with your Uncle Lance. I mean, he's
he
a time of the
doesn't
party.
know a stranger. Does not know a stranger.
Oh, not at all.
Man, there's a lot of good stories with him.
He's jack of all trades, master of nothing. Like I don't even want to say master of nothing because he's pretty much got everything down to a science.
Master of everything.
I've seen him do everything in anything you could imagine.
That man is a wizard. I mean, you could blow your motor up in your car and he put a zip tie on it. Somehow it'd be better than it was before.
Yeah, you can make it home.
Double in horsepower.
Man, it was. Oh man, that was.
Don't get me started on your Uncle Lance. He's all.
Man, Lance was. I mean, at their house, they got that big lake back there. We'd always be riding jet skis out in that. It was like a big pond.
We'd tear the crap out of those jet skis, and like he'd tell me, and I'd be like. And
remember.
then they'd be back up and running like the next week, and I'm like, how do you even?
Duct tape, zip ties.
I'll give you an example of him putting a zip tie on something. So Tate, what did he do? He was driving through the Taco Bell parking lot, and there's like a pillar there, and he tore off his right axle. Lance put this thing back together and made it drive again.
With the zip tie.
Not with a zip tie.
Oh.
But like he made the car drive again. I'm like, no person in a shop should just in their right mind be able to do that. I mean, it took a lot of time, but
He did it.
yeah, he did it. He's not a mechanic. I mean, he definitely is a mechanic, but
He's got a lot of knowledge, I will say.
Oh, yeah.
No, what we've gathered from this over the years is that you just have a great family. It's always felt like family around
Yeah.
anyone.
I mean,
we can be ourselves around them.
Even at like ball games and stuff, you just see a whole horde of the Kimbros walk in the
Cambros,
building.
Muellers, everybody.
Everyone would just.
Everyone.
I mean, every time they walked in the door, it wasn't just like a fan, like Carter's parents or anything. It was like a whole stampede of them. They'd all walk in with their sports chairs and sit them in the bleachers, and there'd be at least 10 of them every time, every ball
And they're not
game.
cheering for one person. They're cheering for every single one of us.
I'll attribute that to I'll name drop here, Jonna, love you. But
I love John.
Don't we all?
she from a very young age, she has always been like a very driving force in my life, and like treating us as if we were her own kids. So I think that's where a lot of it comes from. Is like my cousins are my brothers. I don't see them as anything else.
Right.
Yeah.
My Macy, obviously I
Love
think
Macy.
family being so close, and like my friends being such a driving force in my life, like they're like my brothers to me. So it's never been like if we see you out in public, we're gonna shy away from you or anything like that. But
Yeah, I will say, along with the impact of like your family and how good they are with everyone, treating everyone like family, I will say with Jonna, she was always so impactful and helped everyone. I remember my senior year in the scholarships class, she would help everyone, and if I was in her spot, I'd be losing my mind
I'm
just
surprised she's not
doing all these
full
classes.
head full of gray hair right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The amount of stress.
Very strong woman.
Good
She was
Lord.
one of the reasons I wanted to go to school every day.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
or not one of probably the reason.
I
Like,
think that's a lot of people. I mean, as much as I'm not gonna get into that, but a lot of people come to her as like a safe place, and I think that that says it itself. Like she's just that much of a like personable person. And,
Oh, yeah,
like
for sure.
feels what you're going through. She has empathy.
She
for a lot of
knows.
people.
Like
yeah.
she also like it's like you
She-
can't walk in that class upset and she'd be like, "What's wrong?"
Yeah,
Nothing.
She's got a lot of empathy. She feels it.
She has a look too. She'll
Yeah.
give you this look and she knows.
I've gotten the bad look a lot of times, but
She'll give you that mom instinctive look, and you
Mhm.
know if you're
Yeah.
doing it wrong, and she'll look at you and like, I better straighten up.
Right.
she's got a very telling face. Whether she knows something's wrong or she knows you're doing something wrong.
she has the longest fuse too. Like you can do
Oh yeah.
a lot. Oh,
Yeah,
it depends on who you
within
were.
reason. Within
Right,
reason.
within reason. You could you can just she just
she
wouldn't
knew,
blow
she
up
knew how
on
to have
you.
fun and be serious.
She was
Exactly.
definitely the most kind-hearted person. I remember she'd always go every week, would buy all those snacks for her class just for students to go in there and take whatever, whenever. And she put a lot of money definitely into it, and I'm very thankful for her. I remember walking into the school building early morning, and she'd always like make me like a fresh bag of fruit, like chop up
Yeah.
apples or oranges and grapes. And like every morning, or she'd ask all the time, "Hey, I could bring you some from my house," and that's out of her own time, her own money, her own thought.
She's just that type of person.
Oh.
She loves to help, no matter what the
She's
case
the
is.
best.
But
All right. Well, let's move on to another question. So, what was the atmosphere like at school, and did it change after we left? Because we're pretty cool.
well, I started to say, like I said, with going back to friends being family. Like I felt like a lot of my friends were my brothers, and like going from I think our two classes were closer than as far as our friend group goes. We were at Carson's house every weekend hanging out. You weren't there, Pierce, but
Sorry.
like a lot of us would go over to Carson's house and just play Xbox and go to Casey's at 3 a.m. get a pizza and just play Xbox all night long. And I think that's just kind of like the close knit like small school area. Like I think that you can't find anywhere else. Sherwood's just one of those places where everybody's face, everybody's name. And I think it changed a lot after you guys left. Not only with like COVID happening, but like just like, you know, being so out of touch with reality as
Yeah.
far as like just COVID hitting,
Right.
because you were not I mean, a lot of people were no contact with other people for months.
Yeah.
Like we couldn't even see anybody.
Mhm.
But I mean, like going from junior year to senior year, you know, junior year you had everybody was your friend.
Mhm.
I mean, not
Yeah.
just our two classes being as close as
Right,
they were at the
right.
peak of its time, and then that time being cut short, and then going into the next year not having that extra group of people that you can hang out with and, you know, be happy to see every day. It got cut tremendously, but, you know, I think a lot of people made the most of it, and, you know,
I will
school was
say,
just-
along with like COVID, like cutting things and whatnot, and it was such a scareful time because no one knew what to think, and it was killing people left and right. It was just a pandemic that no one thought we'd ever have, and going over and hanging out with all your buddies and missing school because they got cut. It was kind of like an escape from reality. We had no responsibilities. We were just hanging out, playing video games,
I think that's
having
what
a good time.
junior year was the peak of school, just because, you know, it could be a weeknight and a lot of your friends would be like, hey, we're hanging out at this kid's house.
Right.
It would more than likely be Carson's house, obviously.
Yeah.
But we'd go over there and play Xbox and like not have to worry about anything.
And
Like,
with that being said, it was just a scarce time, and we were so close. Anyone could show up to anyone's house and
Yeah.
it'd be fine. But with COVID being so scarceful, it was just like, oh hey, cars at my house, let them in, like with no thought or no doubt about it.
yeah, and I don't think that dynamic changed like with COVID happening. I just think it was like you guys left, went to college, so it wasn't like I got to see you guys every day. So it was
Right.
like a totally different time. I mean, you know, we still went over to Carson's and whatnot, but like it was just like, you know, Travis wasn't there, Aaron wasn't there, Hunter wasn't there.
Right.
Like it wasn't that extra set of people that, you know, I mean, not
You're
getting to
used
see
to
Pierce.
seeing.
I remember every day junior year seeing Pierce and him just doing something ridiculous that would just make you laugh till you cried. And like you didn't get that. You didn't get, I mean,
Right.
everybody had their specific personality, and I just think you lose, I mean, and that's every year to year whenever, you know, you have graduating classes, but I think it hit that much more and changed the dynamic of school that much more, that like it was just it was definitely different going from, you know, junior year to senior year. It was just a lot of personalities left, and it was tough, but I mean,
I don't want to make a big act like we made the biggest impact.
No,
but like
no.
when I feel like our senior year was like the peak of our high school.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I got me and your aunt. We got the student section back.
yeah.
Basketball games were
that's
bumping.
I'll say that's another thing. Sports was dramatically changed. I think, you know, I mean, we had a game. What was it? The last regular season basketball game of. I mean, and even from the beginning of the season, we had a monster crowd game
Yeah.
to game, every single game, and it was ridiculous. I mean,
It was very crazy. I remember just being on the court. You couldn't hear a thing.
No.
The stands would be packed with those students and parents, and it would get so loud. I'm getting goosebumps just reminiscing
Me too,
about
dude.
it.
It was
It was
different.
so loud.
and I go back to our last regular season, Stockton. It was, you know, nobody wanted us to win that game, or nobody thought we could win that game.
Yeah.
And then we came out, and it was like 5 minutes left in the fourth, and we went on an absolute run. And I swear, you didn't get that feeling. I mean, I'm getting chills too.
I'm getting
But
chills.
like, you go back to that, and like you just didn't get that going into. I mean, you know, I didn't play as much my junior year as far as senior year, because I played every single game of almost every single second of senior year, and then junior year I was coming off the bench. But it was like I enjoyed junior year so much more than senior year because of the atmosphere of that, and I think that's what changed a lot going from year to year. But I mean, like Pierce said, going back to like getting the student section back, like, you know, you go to games today and there's just like it's nothing. Like
It's
I
kinda
think
sad.
yeah.
Like we got like Coach Eversole after every game.
Yeah.
Like coaches are hard headed.
Oh,
Like this dude after every game, great student section night. Win or
Yeah.
lose, great student section. You guys were great. We
Yeah.
appreciate the sport.
And that's
Like
and
it was awesome.
not even just the student section, but like we had people from other schools coming to our games. Like it was just like I mean, even not just going as far as like school goes, but like atmosphere, like just the community in general. We had, you know, a lot of people just being there and hanging out, and, you know, everybody. I mean, it was a dramatic change from I would say 2020 to 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was definitely lively. It was definitely a different feeling, and I would do anything to go back to
Oh,
play
yeah.
one last game in that gym with the crowd we had,
I
with
wouldn't
the
even-
fans being so crazy. I remember in games at like if it was close game or something. At the last 5 minutes in the quarter,
everybody was on
you
their feet.
couldn't hear anything. You
Yeah.
just have to. I'd be on the court running down, and the only way we run a play is we just have to.
Wing
The
it.
chemistry we built,
Wing it.
we
Yeah.
look at each other's facial
Well,
expressions, and we know, hey, we're gonna do this.
I think I like I said, going back to the Stockton game. Sorry, I keep saying that, but we got a steal or a fast break or something, and I just remember Tucker pulling up from 3 on a fast break, and I just felt the energy. There was no breath taken. You could hear a pin drop in that gym, and then once that ball hit the bottom of that net, dude, it was absolutely crazy. That's one of my favorite moments of all time. I
awesome.
didn't even do it. I was standing there watching him do it, but
Felt like you did it.
yeah, I felt like I did. I was on top of the world.
Oh yeah, and then
That-
we had that nasty press that we always used, and it
Oh,
worked every
chaos.
time.
Chaos.
Shout out to Coach
Oh.
Lake for that one.
Coach,
Shout out
dude,
Coach
Lake. Was coach. He was
he
great.
he was intense for sure.
Oh.
he
dude.
definitely pushed me to that next upper echelon to get to where I was. But
What would you say was the most impactful coach you ever had?
That's a good topic.
Going along with the sports subject.
I'd say I have different coaches for different sports. I'd say Coach Lake pushed me in football and all around because he wasn't a basketball coach, but he pushed me to be the best that I could. I think Eversole kind of broke me loose of
Yeah.
all the worry, because I think there was a lot of worry going to junior year, having a new coach, all this and that, and then getting in there and working with him. I think he kind of broke me loose of that worry, and I think he did for a lot of us. I think a lot of us broke out of our shells and kind of became the players that we needed to be. That was our best season by far. We only went 12-12, but we started off 7-0, and
Going into winter break, I
yeah,
remember.
we felt it was that was definitely the best year of basketball for sure. But
Yeah.
I'd say probably my dad for baseball. I didn't really play baseball that seriously through high school,
Yeah.
but I think elementary to up until high school, I think my dad was probably the driving force for baseball. He really pushed me to be my best and put me in every right position to be as successful as I could be. But
Yeah, I will say along with that,
about
I
you
feel
guys?
like Coach
Yeah.
Lake he may not have been a coach for every sport, but he had the mindset to turn you into an athlete.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's why I say all around, because he wasn't.
Yeah.
He was just a good hard nosed coach. He would push you in every
He
even
cared.
If,
He cared
even if you
about
weren't
us.
playing the sport, he would still show up to the games.
Oh, yeah.
Just. He shit talk you, but sorry, didn't mean to cuss.
You're
But
You're good.
but he would push you in every single way. He'd piss you off a little bit, but you would do better.
Right.
You would do better because of it.
He knew his limits, but he'd push you to those limits to fire you up. I remember there's times in when was it? I think it was our JV. I was a sophomore in high school playing that amazing JV team we had. I remember one time he looked at me and said,
Monumental.
"Travis, you get the ball, throw it away. Don't shoot the ball." He's like,
knew
"You
what
can't
could
make
do.
nothing."
He knew what you could do.
He'd call
What'd
you
say?
out. Yeah.
He'd call you a doer.
Kidding me?
Kansas.
He'd call you out. He
He
yelled
called-
at me
Don't
on the
be a-
bench for not being a man because I didn't get a rebound.
He said, "What did he say? You can either be a canner or a cancer, and
Yeah.
Travis is definitely a cancer."
Yeah.
He would make that point, and I didn't take it to heart, but he made a good point. I'm not a shooter. I really wasn't.
He knew
Not at
what
all.
you had.
He knew to push me to play my rules.
I think basketball was just one of those sports where I think not everybody, a lot of people played. I think a lot of our core friends played, and you didn't finish out, but you still played. You were still there for a lot of it. I remember, and it was that was a key time because it's the longest season sport out of all of them, and I think that that was a lot of the time that we all grew together a lot, was just because we were all together all the time. I remember that was I just have a lot of good memories from basketball. I remember one time sophomore year, I think I want to say we were playing Midway, but I remember shooting a 3. Mind you, I'd made 2 at this point, or missed a few, and I turned around and I yelled in this parent's face. Never in my life.
No, the Buffalo. It was in the
Was it
elementary gym.
Buffalo?
Yes,
Oh,
because then
yeah,
your parents
yeah.
made you apologize.
Yeah, because he, as soon as I shot the shot, he said "miss," and I absolutely drained.
Oh,
that
you drank.
thing.
It was from
It was
like,
deep,
pretty deep.
and
yeah.
I turned around and yelled in that parent's face. I got so much trouble.
Because you went make, or you said something. It was so.
No, I
was
go boom.
Yeah, I was cracking up,
Put the
dude.
threes up to my eyes.
Oh no,
It was bad. It was bad. I wish I could take it back, but then again,
Oh,
I look
no,
back,
you
it's
do
a
not.
good-
That
it's
was
a good-
awesome.
It's a good memory. It's a
So
good memory.
I agree with you guys. Coach Lake really, he was on my butt all the time, and if you know me, I'm as much an athlete as my body allows me to be. But he was really hard on me. But I think was only pushing for me to be better because
He just wanted what was best. For
Right,
you.
I wasn't a basketball player. I just played because my boys were playing. But I just, like I said, that one time it was a JV game. I missed a rebound or something. I missed a couple. I don't know what happened, but he pulled me, sat me on the bench, got in my face, and said, "You need to be a man." And I was more embarrassed than I was upset by that because he told me right there I need to be a man. Nobody in the stands liked that.
Yeah,
But after that, like, he didn't apologize. I went to him, I'm like, "Coach, I need to be a man." He's like, "Yeah, you do." But
I mean, truly, you gotta. That's one of those things where he's like, you might not like to hear it, but
You
he's
need-
gonna
you
tell
need
you
to
whether
hear
he's
it.
gonna tell you
No.
whether you like it or not.
Right, and
Sorry
like-
to name drop Coach Lake so much.
no,
but,
Coach Lake
we love you.
was legit.
We love you.
Yeah, he
Hope
was-
you're doing good.
I'll still see him and say what's up to him to this
oh
day.
yeah, same. But in Steinhoff, I think,
Yeah.
although he left and he a little bit of a snake, but
Dude,
he left.
selfish.
That kind of messed us
I
up
remember
too
that
because
was-
we
that
built
was-
a great relationship with that dude.
I remember a lot of people were very distraught and very emotional after he announced that
I wanna.
he wouldn't be returning after the year and going back to his hometown and
I
being
wanna-
close to family.
I want to put something out there. He definitely told me he would stay all 4 of our years.
He did. He told all.
He
of us
told
that,
me
too.
that. He told me that. He lied.
Hey, when an
Lying
opportunity
bastard.
arises, you take it though.
I mean, you
So-
can't blame him. I mean, you gotta be close to family, you know.
But
Agree.
I like I said, I wasn't a basketball player, but I played because my friends and because my coach.
Yeah.
I liked my coaches, but once he left and Eversole came in, and there was nothing against Eversole at all
Yeah.
because I didn't know the guy.
Yeah.
One bit. Never said. I don't really.
I
Think
think
I said a
that
word.
was a huge thing for a lot of. I mean, especially you guys going into your senior year and having a new
coach. Well, we
I
had the
think-
same for baseball too. We
Yeah.
never heard of this guy, and
Yeah.
well,
Shout out Coach Ross.
Coach
Dog.
Ross was legit.
Dog.
I wish I would have got to play a year with him,
Oh,
but
yeah. But
we all know what happened.
I
Too
think,
bad
I
COVID.
think we just had to put our trust and faith in Eversole, and he kind of guided us in the right direction.
No,
I mean, that's why I say
he's an
for,
awesome coach. That's why he's
for-
still there.
for basketball, I think that's why I think he was so great. But
He was.
he was. It was.
He was a good
Sports were a
guy.
good time.
No, yeah, definitely. So, let's finish off this segment with one last question. What are you doing now with your life? What's going on?
Working right now, but
Where are you working at?
Work at Quick Trip Distribution. Shout out. I should deserve a pay raise for that, but but no,
Yeah.
I'm working right now. Definitely gonna explore my options within the.
Try to move up with me.
Trying to move up. Try to get out of Quick Trip a little bit. Not soon, but eventually.
You're staying forever. I said the same thing when I was your age. I said I was only staying for a few.
We'll see where it goes.
That's a good job, is
I
what I
like
heard.
Quick Trip.
I like it.
The people are great. The staff, whatever.
They
Team leads.
they treat people well, right?
Retirement's great.
But yeah, but yeah.
No, it's
The atmosphere is good.
It's
You know,
just like
you-
another job, you know.
a lot of I'm not a very good like go happy, go lucky, whatever you want to call it, but there's a lot of people in there, you know, that you could walk in there tired, pissed off. They can turn your day around.
they'll lift you up.
in
Yeah.
a heartbeat.
That's what's good to look forward to at job. I
Yeah.
mean, even if it's not long term for you, but just to be happy while you work, that's
Yeah.
the main part of
Wait.
working.
I mean, I was telling him the other day the reason I show up is because the people I work
Yeah.
with. I hate.
Yeah.
I don't hate. Sorry, I don't really like what I do. It's pretty tough on the body. Knowing,
Yeah.
I mean, I might have torn my shoulder, but it's just the people that kind of keep you going.
I
and-
definitely see that. I mean, just like, you know, waking up at 3 a.m. every single day. I mean,
It does
as
it
far
to
as like
you.
a work week, it takes a toll on you. But I
especially
think
with working weekends too.
yeah,
It's
working weekends
tough.
is not fun. But
Well,
I mean,
you
know,
definitely have to work. Your work has to be good for you. You have to think of it like you're working with another family because,
Yeah.
like, as I don't know about you guys, but for me, I'm gone 12 hours a day.
you're spending more time.
I'm spending a
with
lot
them.
more time with the people I work with
Yeah.
than at home with my own family, and
I think-
it takes a lot of impact on you doing that. But you gotta watch out for the people you work with because everyone wants to go home the way they showed up to work. You know, you always gotta look out for each other.
And I
Right.
definitely go home in a better mood than I go into work.
Oh,
every
Definitely.
single day. I every single day I'm like, I don't want to be here. Like that's what I go in with, and then at the end of the day I'm like,
They treat us real
it's a
well
good day.
too.
It's been a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a good company. I love it.
There's a lot of people that can make you smile.
Oh.
Just from talking to them. I mean, you don't even have to work with these people. I see Pierce maybe 2 times a day, maybe. If
Well,
that.
now more since I'm kind of
Yeah.
I'm doing light duties.
Yeah,
so I'm kind
light
of walking
duty
around.
helps out a lot. But I'll see Pierce not very much of the day, but seeing his face brightens up my day. Seeing the people he works
Oh,
with,
yeah.
I mean, they're very personable people. They're fun to talk to. They know how to have a good time at
Oh,
work. And it's just it definitely changes your day around.
Yeah,
like,
just seeing their
360.
face, you give them the little smirk, and it's
yeah,
just a good time.
yeah.
Where I work, I got a lot of people that I know that work at different companies, and sometimes we'll run into each other on a different job site, but we won't work together. But I'll just see them passing by, and it just makes my day a little better just seeing someone I know and went to school with.
Yeah, I mean, it's people that you don't even think that you would mesh with well. I think that's probably the biggest thing.
Oh,
People you don't think you
dude,
would mesh with well,
it's crazy.
they become like your favorite people to see every single day. There's no
And we work with some characters too.
Yeah, we work with
Yeah.
some characters, but there's this one guy. I go into work every single day. I talk to that guy every single morning, and he changes my morning around every single day. Shouts out to him. I'm not gonna say his name, but shouts out to him.
But it's kind of funny though, because the work field really changes your perspective. It's not people around your age group.
Oh yeah,
So I work with
definitely.
a lot of older guys in my profession, and if they're not at work one day, I'm like, hey, is this person okay? Like, why are they not? I'm so
You're texting them, "Are you dead? Are you good?"
so
Making
worried
sure they're
about him.
good.
Yeah, you're so worried about him. It's crazy.
And the guy could be 50 years old
Yeah.
with the kids older than I am. I'm like, hey, are you good? Why are you at work
yeah,
today?
you got people worrying about you. But yeah,
Well, no, I'm glad we got you on there. It's good seeing you every day.
it's
and
good to be there. I mean, I definitely enjoy the job. It's not. I mean, it's.
Appreciate the sign-on bonus too. I appreciate
No problem.
helping me out.
I gotta be here at least the full year. Pierce has got to get his
If you can
$400.
make it a year, I'm happy. Yeah.
He's got to get his $400.
Well, you got anything you want to add or say before we knock this bad boy off?
It's been a good talk. It's been fun.
Oh well, we were real happy to have you on.
Yeah,
Well,
thank you for
Anything
coming
else
out.
you guys want to talk about? Oh, I wanted to ask you guys a question. Sorry.
Oh, shoot.
Sorry.
What is it?
How have I impacted you guys?
Pierce, you want to start this one off?
Sure. I mean, our friendship's kind of grown. You were there for me in one of my darkest times of my life. It was rough, and you were there for me, and you've impacted me in a lot of ways. Looking forward to seeing you at school. Looking forward to seeing you at practice, because I know you guys will probably do some dumb stuff to make me laugh. And I just know that anytime I have a bad day, Carter can help cheer me up. And yeah, you've been a real dude to me. You're a real
There's
brother.
been a lot of times that I've been thankful for Pierce. That there's been a lot of lonely times where I probably would have been a lot more sad than I would have been if Pierce wouldn't have been there. I
Yeah.
mean, same with Travis. I can't knock Travis. Travis has been there for me
Yeah.
for a lot.
I will say, you've definitely had a huge impact on my life, Carter. I mean, I don't think we really became friends till about high school. About I think probably my sophomore year. But then we were friends before then. But
Yeah,
like
we had a little
bonding
rough
wise,
patch.
we really did connect. And like with that being said, with over COVID, like we talked earlier, I really became like one of your brothers. You felt
Yeah.
like a brother to me. We're always with each other. I'd wake up and I'd text you to see what we're doing today, because
What we
we'd
doing
always
today?
we'd do everything together. We'd have a
Yeah.
good time, and over the summers we'd spend every second together,
yeah.
and it was just a good time.
Lake days at John's.
Yeah.
it'd be like 7:00 at night. Travis would be like, "Hey, you want to go swim?" I'm like, "Not really, but we can go."
Travis's peak text time is at night because he's
Yeah.
bored out of his mind. In high school,
Faith
anyway.
isn't there. Faith isn't
Well, no,
there to
just in
occupy
high
him.
school, like he would text us in the middle of the night, like, "So tomorrow we going like fishing?" I'm like, "It's January."
Yeah,
This is January.
I mean, not only did like we have a strong bond together, but like you were in my wedding, you were there for my big day, and it was awesome. I mean, I'm glad to have you there. It was just a real. I mean, you mean a lot to me. Your family means a lot to me. They always have, and we just have a really good relationship, and I'm super thankful for it. And as long as with Faith, I feel like she's probably very thankful that you were part of our journey as well.
But I've been there for a lot of it.
Yeah,
A lot of it.
You
A lot of the rough patches. I mean, you were there for everything.
Yeah, I think. Remember that one time you wanted to kick my ass? we won't go into that, but
Won't
that's
go into that.
We'll save that for another
That's a
time.
funny time. That was probably the roughest patch of our friendship, but it was a good time.
Shout out to Tate for
Yeah,
rekindling our friendship there. He tricked
What was
me.
that?
We'll talk about that when we have Tate on the show, actually.
Fortnite night.
Oh, man.
Tate fell asleep. Me and Travis played Fortnite until like what 8 o'clock in the morning.
We had many nights like that.
Well, Carter, thanks for coming on. We really appreciate you. Appreciate having you.
Thank you for having me.
We had a great time, great talk. We want also, before we end this thing, we want to thank you all for tuning in to the 3rd episode of the Lunch Table Podcast.
Shout
be
out
looking
everything.
forward-
Shout out everything. Post everything. Get it as far out as you can.
So thank you guys for tuning in to episode 3, and we'll see you next week.
I'll watch you walk away. The stars are falling right in place. I'll watch you walk away. You stole my heart from inside of me.